So one day, when he's watching the news, he realizes that it's nothing but senseless evil over and over again. There was no honor among thieves anymore. Some people were just bad and needed to be shown it.
Okay.
He says to himself,
Judge, jury, and executioner.
this world needs a Santa.
Welcome to We Won't Finish This Podcast. This is a writer's room podcast where we pitch movies to each other that we'll never make. Two of us have never heard this fresh movie idea. That's kind of our thing. We get to hear it right alongside you. Up tonight is going to be Zeebz. I'm Spaceman.
I'm Savage.
And I'm Zeebz.
What do you got for us tonight?
Well, it's our very special holiday episode. So before I get started and tell you the concept, I have to say, if you have any young children in the room, maybe you want to get them out of here because we have some spoilers about Santa.
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay, Santa spoilers.
Yeah.
If anybody...
yeah, he needs to see them sleeping now, actually.
Get those earmuffs.
The show's marked not safe for work. You probably shouldn't have them in here anyways. But anyways, it's probably been enough time. Okay, so this movie, for a special holiday episode, is about a young boy who is so devastated to learn that Santa isn't real that he dedicates the rest of his life to becoming Santa.
Okay. So, like being John Malkovich, except being Santa, and not at all. Am I pretty close?
Definitely not at all, yeah.
Okay.
You're right.
Good. All right.
So, I was thinking, should we just give him a first name off the bat?
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So it's just a little kid.
Chris Kringle.
Chris Kringle would be good. I actually just wrote down Randy Claus.
Randy Claus? Yeah,
Look, his name was Randy.
Dang it, Randy.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we'll think about it. We'll go back to that.
So we got Vigilante Randy.
Yeah, if you got any names for this kid, go ahead and throw it in the chat.
We can get into the story. I was thinking, so the boy is very well behaved, and he absolutely loves Christmas. His family isn't very well off, but his parents always pull through with great gifts on Christmas, and they work very hard to keep Santa and the magic of Christmas alive. Right?
Okay. So you talking like snowfall on the roof, they're putting like the hoof marks, like that kind of stuff?
Yeah, did you guys did anybody dress up like Santa when you guys were younger or anything?
Not really me.
No, I did get a phone call they told me was from Santa one time.
That's awesome.
Did you buy it?
They were like, are you sure you're being good? So I think I was probably...
You're not lying to me?
I was getting on their nerves, and they were like, okay, we got to heat up the stakes.
It was a scared straight
That's
phone
right.
call.
I remember when I was a kid, I specifically asked, like, we don't have a chimney. Like, how does Santa get in here? And I was told, like, oh, he just uses the front door. And it was so disappointing.
Yeah. My sister, they don't have a chimney. They sell like a key it looks special and whatever. And they say, it's Santa's special. They hang it on the front door on Christmas Eve so that Santa can get in.
Ooh, that's smart. My parents could have learned something.
Well, they found a way to market it, and they'll always find a way to sell you something. So they figured it out.
Yeah, love you, Mom and Dad. Sorry.
So my mom used to take my grandpa's old boots, and we did have a fireplace, and we'd have a fire on Christmas Eve. Okay. And then she would get a bunch of ash all over the boots, and she'd make little footsteps all around the Christmas presents around the tree.
Okay.
It's pretty baller.
No, that's pretty good.
That's going the extra mile. I feel like that kind of adds some
and we left out
holiday
the
magic.
Yeah, that's about the one thing I can remember I did. Like, left out the cookies.
Leaving out the cookies and milk. Yeah.
Which is funny.
Classic.
Like, I didn't even get like the cookie left with like the bite marks. Like, I know you guys have seen that probably plenty of times. It's just like strategically placed crumbs. You're like, no, we're eating the whole cookie. Like, we're not leaving anything behind.
I think my mom ate the whole cookie too.
No, we were never like Elf on the Shelf people, but
I think that's new though.
That's a newer thing.
Yeah. I don't remember hearing about that. So
So anyways, we'll get back to the story. I was saying the boy, he's well liked at school, except for some bullies that always pick on him. But he finds comfort knowing that they're going to be receiving only lumps of coal on Christmas morning.
Sure. Get what's coming to you.
Yeah, he's we'll see.
Okay, so he's
he loves Christmas.
So are we at the point where he still like believes in it right now?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. He's a boy. He believes in it, and he's getting bullied. But he's like, you idiots.
Yeah.
Let's see who's laughing on Christmas morning.
Joke's on you.
Wait, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Next week with brand new shoes.
Yeah. So Christmas morning, he gets a fairly good haul of toys, but not that expensive or hard to get item that he really wanted.
It's
whistle. Good Christmas, but just the one thing it didn't come.
Can we name the kid Judge Reinhold?
What's the reference?
It's the Santa Claus. Like obviously, it has nothing to do with your movie.
Oh, I don't even remember him in the Santa Claus.
Oh yeah, he was.
Well,
in
it kind of is like the Santa Claus, except this guy is making a decision. He didn't.
Yeah. He wasn't like sued into it.
And I'm picturing it in a real world. There's really no magic that's going to accomplish this for him. He has to figure it out.
Yeah, because I don't remember much of that movie besides Tim Allen shaving and then it immediately still pops back into place, his whole beard, and then for some reason Judge Reinhold and his weenie whistle, and then he got it at the end and he was like so stoked.
So anyways, he didn't get that that one item that he really wanted, that one toy. He's kind of bummed, but he's still satisfied with his Christmas, and he's like still like it's bothering him. Like, man, maybe I took more candy than I was supposed to that one time, and I
wasn't
lied
good
about
enough.
Yeah,
Not
I wasn't
not
a
quite
good boy.
good enough.
Yeah, but he's still like, yeah, I'll do better next year. I was saying, did you guys ever get any gifts that like made your Christmas? Like, do you remember a year where you were like, holy shit,
yeah,
they pulled it off?
It's I'll say I have an somewhat embarrassing one.
Tell it.
Final Fantasy 9, I remember, was the game I was playing. Now,
I'm embarrassed for you.
Okay, well that wasn't the embarrassing part. We're getting to that. No, I remember I also got a Bon Jovi CD. Now,
yep, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, now not classic Bon Jovi, which I mean, good stuff. Like we'll
80s chug guitar.
Yeah,
Bon Jovi.
I got new Bon Jovi. And like the one song that like I can recall,
talking 90s new?
No, like early 2000s new, which is so much worse.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I remember, and I just listened to that like the same song over and over again.
You opened it.
I did, and I loved it for a while, and like I couldn't listen to it again. No way.
There's probably some hits on there. I bet some bangers.
I can think of one. That's all I can remember.
So I remember there was one year I was like, for some reason, obsessed. I really wanted a camouflage tent, an army tent. I like wrote about it in school projects and like was looking forward to it all year, and finally got it, and it was like, yes, tent.
That's pretty sweet.
Get the tent
Just
set
put
up
it up
in the
your
living room.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
living room.
See,
so the fort.
Fort.
Yeah.
It was a fort.
Mine
I
was
was a fort kid.
I don't think I believed in Santa anymore at this point, like where I knew my mom had to pull it off. And I don't even think it was something I specifically asked for. Like, I honestly, literally, I think felt like it was like, you'll never pull it off. And it was the white Power Ranger action figure bundled with the Saber-Tooth Tiger Zord.
Okay, was Saba? Did you
yeah.
get Saba?
Is that what its name was?
That was the
dagger?
sword.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh man,
I might have had that at some point, but not that. No, it was just one box with the action figure and the Zord.
Okay, I mean that's still pretty sweet.
And I can still picture it. Like,
yeah.
I remember seeing it, opening it, and the Christmas lights on it, and being like, you did it. You know what I mean? Like, it
Those
was.
Power Ranger toys were pretty cool though, because you had the figures and then the Megazords, and they all
he had
like,
the chest piece that
fit
could come
together.
off and everything.
Oh,
It
it's so
was-
sweet.
Yeah, it was fucking sweet.
That
dude.
is so sweet.
It was pretty good.
No, and I can say I actually do have one more that I can say, and this is actually like somewhat of a sad kid story. So I remember
Red
this
Ryder
was
BB gun.
2nd, 3rd grade, something like that. We were doing some kind of gifts exchange, among the students. And I remember my mom got me to obviously give in this thing. It's some like remote controlled like motorcycle thing. And I was like, dude, this thing is so sweet. Like what is anybody else going to have that is going to be just as sweet
Can't
as
top
this? Like
that.
I was so stoked. I thought this is like the bare minimum. Like I'm going to get something like awesome. And I remember the day came and like what got placed in front of me, like clearly a book. Like it was just immediately, I'm like, oh no,
wrapped book.
a wrapped book. Immediately,
There's not a remote controlled motorcycle.
not
in
even
there,
close.
Is there?
Like they're going to set down like the book, and you can see it like kind of cave in a little bit as it sets down. And I'm just like, oh no, this is
Devastated.
devastated. Like this is the book. Open it up, and it's like the worst like knockoff like Christmas puzzle. Like it was just random like like book, and I was like, wow.
Right. They probably stopped at like a convenience store right before the
You blew it.
party and picked that up for
Yeah,
you.
exactly. It was like, what's laying around? I don't know, wrap that up. Take it to your
You set
2nd grade
set
gift exchange.
the bar
I'm
too
sorry.
high with your RC motorcycle.
Sorry to hear that.
I know. But yeah, that was me being sad as a kid and moving on.
Merry Christmas. We're almost getting there for your flashback. But so anyway, so I'm thinking, this kid, he didn't quite get the most amazing Christmas, but it was pretty good. And he's like, yeah, I must have done, there's a couple things that Santa might have been upset with.
I had a
and
couple of strikes.
I'll do better, and he returns to school after Christmas break, and he finds out that all the bullies got everything they wanted, everything he wanted, and more. They're stereotypical rich kid bullies.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
okay. Yeah, all right.
Right.
So yeah, they're walking in. They got the fresh shoes. Like I don't know why I'm picturing this as like they have like popped collars too.
Of course.
Yeah, like just like multiple popped collars.
So
One of them's name is Trent.
Yeah,
fucking Trent.
obviously
Trent
So
Tanner.
So this kid's like, why would Santa do this? They should have come to school with coal soot all over them.
Why were they wiping themselves in it?
Yeah. So when he gets home, he starts complaining about Santa to his parents, and he's very upset. And they realize it's time to tell him and sit him down. Do you guys remember how you found out Santa wasn't real?
How old?
Yeah, that, or do you remember how it happened? I don't remember really how old I was or how it happened, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think I was about to get the talk, and it was kind of like, I
Kind of already
it out.
knew, had your suspicions already.
Yeah.
My mom brings up how my sister called her out for having the same wrapping paper as Santa. And she was like, "Oh,
That's awesome."
Yeah. So I might have overheard that. I really can't remember.
That's
either.
funny.
So anyways, so his dad sits him down, says, "Hey, bud, Santa's not real, but it's a fun thing that you get to do now to keep it fun for the little ones. Now that you know the truth, you get to play Santa and make it real for your younger cousins." The boy's not satisfied. This isn't about Christmas magic. This was about justice. It was about a true balance in the universe. Karma as an irrefutable truth which would show itself every year like clockwork.
There needs to be balance in the force.
Yes, it would show itself every year like clockwork with all your family around to witness. A true merit-based praise or shame system.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Yeah.
Some kids are going to learn a hard lesson.
Yeah.
Karma Claus.
Well, yeah. So his parents try to calm him, like, "Hey, buddy, calm down. Like, God's still real." The child scoffs. "I want results this year." He marches off to his room. So this starts his bad kid phase.
Okay, so leather jacket.
Rebellion.
Yeah, cigarettes.
Nothing matters. He was always worried before that even if he wasn't caught for doing something bad, that Santa would always know and he'd get coal for Christmas. Now that was completely out the window. And I'm thinking that this goes...
That's the turning point in
Oh,
his
yeah.
life.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing some bad shit now.
Right. Well, yeah. Why
Breaking
not?
Bad.
Why not? As long as I don't get caught. So this goes on for many years. He starts committing more serious crimes, break-ins, financial scams. He masters the art of entering homes quickly and undetected.
Oh, okay. All right. I
Probably
like
have a
it.
guess where that's going.
Yep. The secret
Leaving
B&E.
no soot footprints.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, not a trace. So as time goes on, his acquaintances, they get seedier and seedier. He's a criminal.
Yeah.
So he starts growing paranoid and he begins breeding pit bull puppies for the companionship, but mostly for their protection.
I like where this is going.
Okay. He always prided himself on only ever stealing from bad people, violent criminals, domestic abusers, big corporations. He still believed that he had morals, even though he was living a life of crime.
Okay, so this is like Robin Claus.
Robin Hood.
Yeah.
We're
okay.
over
Okay.
for a little. We'll see.
All right.
I mean, it's just you got to do what you got. This is an impossible task.
I am kind of liking that name.
Robin Claus.
Robin Claus. That's
We'll see. We'll see.
it's okay. We'll keep going.
So he's a criminal. Things are going. He's forgotten about the Santa thing. He's a criminal.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to become the Grinch.
Yeah. So yeah, you either die Santa Claus or you live long enough to become the Grinch. So one day, when he's watching the news, he realizes that it's nothing but senseless evil over and over again. There was no honor among thieves anymore. Some people were just bad and needed to be shown it, irrefutably.
Okay.
All right? He
right.
says to himself,
Judge, jury, and executioner.
this world needs a Santa. Right?
So it's like Batman Santa.
Fat man?
Sure.
Could be. He stays up for days looking up global population statistics, researching cutting-edge vehicle concepts, checking drone weight limits. It all seems hopeless. And this was before even factoring in how he was going to get all the toys needed. This would be impossible.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're probably agreeing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, how big of a bag are we talking here? It's like unless you're giving away grains of rice.
even on a small local scale, it'd be hard to pull
Your
off.
apartment building would be tough to pull off,
Yeah, could you imagine lugging like a freaking sack of toasters around your apartment building? That'd
You
be
have to-
terrible.
nobody has to catch you doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
You're clanging down the stairs.
So I think this would have to start. This is what I've labeled the Grinch phase.
Everyone gets a cheap DVD player.
Yeah, you get one. We slide you a DVD under your door.
It's not even out of the $5 bin. Is there a lesser bin than the $5 bin?
Not anymore.
Not
I'm
these
sure.
days.
Yeah, not these days. Those days are gone, bud.
Oh man, that's kind of sad too.
Yeah, garage sale's your best bet.
Yeah, this podcast turned into a bummer.
Well,
We're sorry.
yeah, I mean,
DVDs will make a comeback though.
They are.
Invest heavily in DVDs.
Yeah, seriously, and like HD DVDs especially. I hear those are hot right now.
This is not financial advice, people.
We're
don't
not a
listen to these
financial
guys.
podcast.
So obviously he would have to start small. He had some wealthy associates, his fellow criminals, whose children he had met before. These kids were awful, violent, hurling obscenities at everybody. The parents never stepped in or did anything to check the behavior. If anything, they probably encouraged it.
Mm-hmm.
The protagonist knows a few kids in his own apartment building that are very well behaved. They were always offering to do chores for extra cash to help their struggling parents. He always had a lot of respect for them. They deserved Christmas praise.
Okay.
So you kind of see where this is going, I'm sure.
Yeah. You're going to try to take care of these kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas was a few weeks away. He devised a plan. He would steal from the bad kids, rewrap their presents, and give them to the good kids. The bad kids would be left with a lump of coal.
Yeah, I really do like the concept of taking presents from this
From the naughty.
Kids. I really like
It pays for
I
itself.
really do like that idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, he doesn't even have to have like a team of elves to like have a workshop. Well, I mean, all right.
He's gonna expand.
Okay, yeah, you can have
gotta-
more of a circuit
Yeah. This is a trial run.
of acquisition. All right.
He buys a bag of charcoal, a Santa outfit, and beard. And he gets the most special looking wrapping paper he can find.
Okay, how old is this guy at this point?
30.
Okay, all right.
We'll say.
Just trying to
Yeah,
just trying to
30-year-old.
find what time in
How
his
old
life.
was he when he found out?
I mean, how old
28.
are you? 7, 8?
28.
I don't know. I mean, something like that. 3rd grade.
Okay, so 2/3 of his life has been dedicated to avenging or
Yeah.
No, I think it. Like I said, he turned into a bad kid of just, well, what's the point? And he got really good at it because
Yeah.
he knew it was just all about not getting caught because there was no eye in the sky of Santa.
Yeah. This Christmas, we're going to unwrap some justice.
Yes, that's a good. I'll talk to you later when I'm putting together the trailer. That's what I'm thinking is that he just goes bad kid for a while, but it's that one day watching the news that he has the epiphany that it was just like, wow, there's a lot of just legitimately bad people, and
Yeah.
nobody's getting coal on Christmas.
Yeah, nobody's putting it in check. We're enabling all these terrible people. They need to have the universe come down on them. I do like this concept.
Yeah, because like I said, it's like every year you would basically get a report card saying
Yeah.
like good or bad, and if it was bad, you'd probably be like, fuck,
Yeah. Damn it, I already got to reflect back.
So I have so he buys a bag of charcoal, Santa outfit, beard. He gets the most special looking wrapping paper he can find because it's got to be obvious when you walk
Yeah.
out and you see the real
oh,
Santa
yeah,
gift
this
under the
came from
tree.
Santa.
It's like a golden glimmering
Sure.
with a bow,
Yep.
This Christmas, he will be both the Grinch and Santa Claus, but only for a couple families. Everything goes well on Christmas morning. So, I mean, he goes and does it,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep, hits the house.
Yeah.
B&E.
So
Yeah.
executed on Christmas Eve, and by Christmas morning,
Oh, yeah.
No one's the wiser,
the
right?
plan has
Yep.
been happening.
Everything goes well. On Christmas morning, he gets his robe, slippers, and some coffee, and he sits listening to the family next door through the vents. Like he's in an apartment building. So I'm thinking
Yeah.
you hear the neighbors, he knows these
He's
people,
like
right?
chuckling to himself.
Yeah, just having a good morning listening to their awesome Christmas next
Is he
door.
also like, how the hell did they not hear me? like,
Probably thought he was in his own apartment. So the kids are thrilled, but the mother's confused, and she's just like, it's a Christmas miracle. The man is pleased, and he immediately is plotting about how to do it bigger next year.
all right.
Like it's just like,
I gotta
wow.
hit a whole
Right,
block.
this went too well.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
awesome. And I was also thinking it might be kind of nice of like maybe what if he could like hear the bad kids through another vent, like maybe different
Yeah.
vents or different apartments.
They have to.
So he gets to sit there and be like, no, they're just all crying, the adults, everybody,
What is this in my stocking? Like it's like
Yeah.
poop. It's like,
So I was thinking
oh
that-
no, look under that. You got coal.
Yeah, exactly. The man spends the day drinking eggnog, watching happy Christmas movies, and enjoying every bit of joy he hears through the walls, or I guess hurt that he hears through the walls, sadness.
It's both good to him.
Yeah, he sees out the window. The kids are outside enjoying their outdoor toys. Everything's perfect.
Do any of the parents happen to see these other kids outside playing with these toys?
That looks familiar.
Okay, yeah, maybe there aren't any outdoor toys.
I was gonna say, like, hold on.
Yeah, you probably noticed.
Yeah, you get somebody like, look at all the window, like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah, you'd be pretty pissed if you wrapped up
I
a
think-
present and it wasn't there the next day.
No, I think Bill and A3 robbed us.
Yeah. So, you probably noticed, yeah, that's exactly our gifts, and they live one
What
floor
the
below
hell?
us.
A giant liquored up fight on the yard on Christmas Eve. Or
not
Christmas morning, I
It's
mean.
not uncommon. That evening, there's a very loud cop knock on the neighbor's door.
We all know that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The man listens.
We've all heard that now.
Yeah. The man listens through the walls as he hears the mother plead with the police that she has no idea where the gifts came from. And they say, well, why would you keep them? And she says, well, they said they were from Santa, and my kids were so happy. So the man's just sitting there. He had a great day.
It's a Christmas
Yeah.
miracle.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, now he's sitting there just like, God damn it, I just got this family arrested, So,
But I mean, that's a pretty good defense, though. Like, if you're just, well, I mean, not really.
Not
No,
really.
not at all. Now that I'm thinking
I
about
don't
it.
think it would get you very far. No.
Yeah, he'd probably just immediately assume you stole it. Yeah, all right, continue.
So some of the stolen gifts were tracked electronically, and the recipients' parents were arrested for theft. So, like obviously some of the gifts were internet connected, electronic. So here's a tip.
Yeah.
If you're a parent or anybody who's like, let's say you're getting somebody like a video game console for
Yeah.
Christmas, open it up first, download all the updates so that they don't have to spend Christmas Day doing it because the PlayStation and Xbox servers are going to take a shit. A lot of
Yeah.
people do this.
No, yeah, this is a very
Yeah.
good PSA, actually.
Exactly. So this is what I'm thinking, this parent did, and then it was stolen from under the Christmas tree. You went and set it up.
It's got
They
your
call the police.
username.
You're done. Like as soon as they plugged it into the internet, the cops were on their way, basically. So that's what happened here. So the mom's being arrested. I'm thinking they're teenage boys. They're being left behind.
Yeah.
And so the man goes out in the hallway, catches them out there with the police.
Hammered on eggnog.
Hammered. And he tells the woman, I'll help look after your kids and I'll keep them out of trouble. They're all teenaged.
Like, stay the hell away from my kids.
No, they have no
Weirdo.
idea. Maybe they know this guy. He's
Okay,
been a
all right,
friendly
fair-
neighbor or
fair
something, So he invites the teens over for dinner, and the mom says that their out of the father picture is supposed to come pick them up tonight, but he never shows.
Okay.
So now this guy's just stuck with these. He's got just three
Yeah.
teenagers in his house. Their mom's just been arrested. It's his fault. He tried to do
Merry
a good
Christmas to everybody.
thing. Yeah, exactly. The boys are crying. The man spends a lot of time trying to figure out how to tell them that he was the one who gave them the presents and got their mother arrested. He tells them that he thinks he should have enough money to bail her out in the morning, and and hopefully that they'll feel better. And they tell him it's not that. The cops took our PlayStation.
That's what they're really upset about.
They got a brand new
Of course.
PlayStation,
Yeah,
and they were pumped for a day, and then the
Right.
cops came and took it.
Yeah, we had Crash Bandicoot. Like, we were pumped.
Yeah. So the man agrees to spend the bail money on a new PS5 in return for them keeping a secret. The boys agree because everybody wants the PS5.
Well, of course.
So he tells them about how he played Santa, and they're all incredibly thankful. The man keeps trying to discuss ways to free their mother, but they're all more persistent about getting the PS5 and getting it home. Yeah, we'll go get her.
Yeah, yeah.
If he's so good at breaking into the houses, maybe he can break her out of jail.
I really hope the jail has a chimney. I really hope it does.
I'll just drop it out now because I really have no notes going on there. My running gag was that the mother is completely forgotten in jail.
She just gets left there.
But I love your chimney idea.
No bail.
So, because I really have very few mentions of the mother ever again.
She's just in jail.
So,
Well,
the chimney in the jail is a good one.
Accessory.
Yeah.
yeah, what's the opposite of a Christmas miracle? Because that's what's going on here.
I thought she would just be the forgotten element of the movie.
An arrest on 34th Street.
Yeah. The scene cuts to them. They're sitting around the apartment playing PS5, and they're happy. The man sips his eggnog in an awkward state, and one of the boys asks him, "Why did you get us the presents?" And he explains his thoughts about Santa.
Oh, I was going to say, just fuck them kids. That's why.
So he explains his thoughts about Santa, and it's a powerful speech about how before he knew the truth about Santa, all was right in the world. There existed an all-seeing bearer of judgment that you couldn't get anything past. One that every year would either lift you up with a sense of accomplishment and reward, or would shame you in front of your family and friends.
Publicly.
Yeah. It's very important that people see you open the coal. It's all about shame.
Get it all over your fingers.
Yeah. No matter who you had tricked into thinking you were a good person would find out the truth. Santa Claus thinks you're a dick. And this was better than a heaven or hell. You could carry that moment with you into the next year and make up for it as an undeniable truth. Nobody could argue whether it was real or choose not to think about it. No matter what, every December you'd be slapped in the face with it.
Yep. You get some coal in your fingers. Yep. Santa thinks you suck.
Yeah. Santa thinks you suck bad. And it hurts. It's got to hurt.
Just this person who doesn't even actually know you, just like opens a book like, this kid sucks.
Well, no, they don't know it's some 30-year-old guy in an apartment.
Oh, true. I was talking about real Santa.
You're picturing Santa Claus and you're like, Cole, I'm a dick,
Right.
you know?
Like, oh,
Yeah. So I think that's a big part of it. So I think that's such a powerful speech. The boys are now standing, and it makes total sense to them. We want to help, one says. Another agrees, and they both look to the third one, who's picking his controller back up. Does that mean we get presents too? The man nods, and they all go, "Hooray!"
Yeah, you can pick a few of your favorites off the top. It's fine. Yeah.
So you see where we're going here.
Yeah.
Santa's little helpers now.
He's got some helpers, right? They immediately get to work, and I'm picturing this as a big montage scene where it'll be showing footage of, shots of how they're doing it while the man kind of explains it. So I'm going to be kind of jumping back and forth, like describing and quoting the narrator, I guess. But
yeah, and really quick, I do want to acknowledge this woman is still in jail. And like not even the deadbeat or whatever he was husband is he just like, thank God. About time it happened.
He just doesn't show up. It's a sad story.
Okay, fair enough.
So
poor woman.
Yeah, they immediately get to work. There's a montage scene of the man explaining their plans over footage of them stealing truckloads of toys in many ways. He says, "We'll have to work all year to make this happen. We can't possibly steal it all, so we'll have to get creative in making cash as well." It turns out some of the teens are very tech savvy, and they already have a good understanding of hacking, creating cryptocurrency, pump and dump shit coins, and a plethora of financial scams. They will target only the naughty.
Okay.
Right? So now it's a crime organization, essentially.
Targeting shitty kids.
More footage of just businesses. He said he would steal from big corporations.
Right,
so I mean, a truckload of PS5s, like perfect.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There's like the teenagers from the Ninja Turtles, like the Foot Clan.
Oh, yeah.
They had like the hideout.
With Sam Rockwell was in that. People forget.
Yep.
He was the one selling the cartons of cigarettes.
Oh, really?
He was.
I did not know
he
that.
Was well, go back and watch. It's him.
Ninja Turtles.
That was the best Ninja Turtle movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to check that out.
So more footage of them loading toys now into a warehouse. They have their own warehouse.
Yeah, now they have Santa's workshop.
Yeah, they're moving pallets around with forklifts. The man looks to see a digital clock on the wall with the days remaining until Christmas. So that was a full-on operation.
Yeah, how many do we got?
I don't know. I don't have it yet, but I do kind of define it more. I'm thinking there'll be a random shot of their mother in jail just appearing to having a real rough go of it. And no further description, but
it's July. Why am I here?
So the man said, is still narrating the montage scene. "We can't make any more mistakes. All of these items must be thoroughly checked for any identifiable information that would link it to a crime. The teens are shown working like elves in Santa's workshop, but instead of making toys, they're jailbreaking electronics and scratching out tracking numbers. The sign on the wall now reads 30 days until Christmas."
Okay. So we're right around Thanksgiving. Well, just after.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each time it shows the mom back in jail, they've got like different holiday decorations up. So there's like the 4th of July and Halloween, and
she just has like a new like cast on her
wasting
arm.
away in there,
like arm in a sling.
Yeah, Thanksgiving they handed her a turkey sandwich.
Yeah, so that there's no making toys. It's just
by
all
the end of the movie,
scrubbing
showed like
them.
face tattoos and it's just like
getting
hardened criminal in there.
Yeah, it's a long time. So the man says, still in the montage, "This final month is the toughest part. Some people have been nice all year and they blow it towards the end." And I was thinking it would show like footage of Black Friday shoppers.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah, then it says, "This is the most crucial time for gathering intel and making sure we've checked our lists twice." Footage is shown of the teens reading local news articles, checking social media accounts, hacking Ring doorbells and Amazon Alexas. Sorry if I just turned yours on. As well as paying mall Santas for information. And it shows him just like talking to a mall Santa, maybe like
Slipping him 100.
yeah, like smoking a cigarette behind a mall, and he's just like, yeah, that little blonde girl wanted the most expensive toys, called me fat, snatched my glasses. Her parents were taking video and laughing, and the guy just hands him 100, like, thanks, Doug. You know?
Yeah, I got you, Doug.
Yeah, so it's just there's intel is a big part of it too. It's a lot of work, an impossible amount of work, you could even say.
Yeah. Now, what's the radius that they're targeting with all this?
I'll get into it, but what I have later is essentially they're in it's got to be a tiny town.
Yeah.
A tiny town is I looked it up, is categorized as like 10,000 residents.
Okay.
So I estimated that as like 2,500 trees, maybe.
Yeah.
2,000, depending on if you're in I guess a Christian area or
Yeah,
something.
right. Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'd ballpark it, couple thousand. Yeah, that seems fair.
So that's where I got them at. They
Yeah.
live in a tiny town.
Right.
You know, whatever. So now they're 7 days away from Christmas. Everyone is...
No, sorry. Are they robbing like the next town over?
I mean, I guess wherever they can. I mean, it's all
Yeah.
scams.
Right, because we're talking like a smaller town here. I don't know why I'm getting on this, but we're talking a smaller town here. I feel like they're like commuting to the next like bigger city over, and they're just like knocking off.
Yeah, I'm sure you can't just empty all your own stores.
Yeah,
a
you
tiny
wouldn't have
town
very
wouldn't
much.
have that many PS5s on the shelf.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Probably.
right. Yeah, they're yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're not going to finish the podcast, but yeah, they'd
Right.
probably have to branch out a little
They'd
bit.
have to
Right.
find more naughty people outside of
And
tiny
also,
town.
like I said, a lot of this
we have an excess of coal. We got to find more people to give it to.
they're making a lot of money off shit coins too.
Oh yeah.
So you got to remember that they're buying some of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's bought and stolen, basically. Now we're 7 days away from Christmas. Everyone's wrapping gifts with Santa's special shiny wrapping paper. The man leaves the boys to wrap presents, but kind of suspiciously, where they're like, "Where are you going?" You know. He says he'll be back tonight with more toys, but we already have all the toys. And he just leaves in a big box truck. The man goes and knocks over a Toys for Tots.
Jeez. God.
What
Toys
do they
for
do?
Tots?
Well, and any other
Oh,
present
back to
donation,
villains.
any other present donation organization for all of their toys.
Oof.
This was a major contradiction to the ethics of being Santa, you know, because he had his morals of he only stole from naughty people.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, after he did that the first year, in his own eyes, does he feel like he had crossed the line yet, or he was just already willing to be that bad guy?
I think the first year he didn't consider himself a bad year because he stole from people who didn't deserve Christmas
He's just
presents.
patting himself
Yeah.
on the back.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, he's like
I
that.
did a good
Other
thing
than her
here.
being arrested, everything went perfect.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think he felt bad about this. But now the Toys for Tots thing, you might ask yourself, well, that must be a pretty evil thing to steal from Toys for Tots.
Yeah, that's what I would call a dick move.
But he sees it as a major contradiction to how Santa would operate. This is a system based on morals, and these places were just giving the toys to any poor kid.
Okay. Well, could he at least
You know
Thanos
what I
it and
mean?
take like half the toys?
Right. See, he was just, he's like, where is their grading system as far as whether these tots have really earned the toys they're going to be given? That's his beef with it?
Well, here's the thing: is he really had no need for these toys because the ones people donate, they're not going to make anyone's Christmas. Probably the things that Toys for Tots. There's no PS5s in there.
Yeah. I saw one earlier, and it was literally like a small shopping cart.
Toddlers are also easily impressed.
Yeah, so he had no needs for these toys. They were already done getting the toys, but they were mostly shit anyways, and they wouldn't instill any Christmas magic. But so he decided to burn them in a field. And then this made him question his only stealing from the bad morals. But he had faith that through their system, the good kids' gifts would be upgraded on Christmas morning, and the bad kids would be receiving coal as they should.
By decreasing the supply, he will increase the demand.
Well,
of
he
the
figured we've already taken care of
remaining presents.
the poor kids were already taken care of.
Okay.
You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? So he's essentially like, we can just burn all these Toys for Tots things just because we don't want to risk a bad kid getting a toy.
Man, he's that hardline? Okay.
This is what it is.
Okay.
Right?
Now I see where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's misguided. Yes, I see. All right.
He's accomplishing quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, sounds like it.
So that's his thing. Is it's like, hey, they don't even need
Just
these Toys for
picturing
Tots. This
like
kid's got
the
something
Joker burning the piles of cash.
It's
Yes.
about sending a message.
Awesome. Yes. So Christmas Eve morning, the man is rattled because there's still presents to be wrapped, and the sun is going to set tonight at 5:09 p.m. I looked it up. Sun rises at 8:07 a.m. Christmas morning, so they will just have shy of 13 hours to get all the presents under the estimated 2,500 Christmas trees in their tiny town.
Yeah, and let's be real here. Like, what time did you get up on Christmas? because it was not 8 o'clock for me. It was probably like 5. I was so jacked to open presents.
Even when I was a kid, I sleep in.
No, I mean,
If
I
possible.
couldn't. I was up all night like, God, there's going to be presents over there.
Well, then you see how important this day is.
Well, of course. I totally get it.
You understand if you went out there and saw coal,
Yeah. Oh,
you'd have a long look in the mirror,
yeah.
I bet.
Oh, yeah, I'm devastated. I'm sure I earned it a few times.
Just a little self-reflection here.
Yeah. Obviously, they got to get moving. It's Christmas Eve. I was kind of. This is a throwaway. I didn't write my notes this way, but I kind of think it would be funny if they just like all fell asleep and overslept and had to wait until next year.
It's like Home Alone.
Like
We did it again!
yeah, you just wake up and you go, oh no, and you have an entire year and you have a warehouse full of stolen goods that you need to get off you.
We need a second warehouse.
Yeah. They finish wrapping presents and they go over routes. The plan is that they will be splitting up. They'll each be driving a box truck, which will house large gifts and pre-portioned present sacks filled with the smaller gifts. The trucks are equipped with trash compactors for collecting bad kids' presents, and the pit bulls will be dressed as reindeer and will get the stocking-sized gifts and coal into the houses on their own.
I was going to ask you earlier. I thought it might have been going this way. But when you said he was breeding the pit bulls, I was picturing Santa's sleigh being led by a bunch of pit bulls.
I kind of thought about it, and it's just there's just no way. I mean, they'd all have to have their own pack of pit bulls and a sleigh.
Yeah.
And even still, you're looking at
Yeah.
700 houses
Right,
in 13
we're getting
hours.
Yeah,
you know?
we're getting into Christmas magic at this
So
point.
now I think it's just a full-on sprint. You're running with a pack of dogs. There's a box truck that's dropping you off bags that are like, here, this one goes to that house.
Yeah.
And the pit bulls, they can just take the coal right into the house. If the guy's awesome gift is small, they can just go put it right in his stocking. And I was thinking that the pit bulls, they would just aggressively chew up and destroy any gifts for people on the naughty list.
I was thinking that they would like go into the
In
house.
addition to the trash compactor?
Well, because
Seems
I don't think there's
redundant.
time. If there's a house that just
Okay.
if a pit bull is delivering coal to your house, he's just gonna come in, drop the coal, and just shred your presents.
Yeah.
And just leave. You're gonna come out, and they're all gonna be destroyed, and you're gonna have a one perfectly wrapped thing of coal.
Yeah, and I'm picturing the dogs that go in there and also piss on the tree, like lifting the leg, like right
If there's
on-
time.
Yeah, and it's like
If there's
even the
time.
fake trees, so it's just like soaked into your freaking
Yeah.
whatever that thing's called at the bottom. I can't remember.
So that's what I think. There's no time to trash all the presents. So the pit bulls, if they're in there, they are the trash compactor. They ruin your Christmas and they leave you cold.
just bite it. I just picture shaking it, just like
Oh
so
yeah,
hard.
just a whole
Right.
Christmas right in front of you. So this is a part I don't love this, but I did write. Maybe that night he just possibly introduces meth to the boys because they obviously got to move fast.
yeah,
Like there's got to be something. They need an edge.
yeah. Maybe we'll
know.
leave out giving drugs to kids.
So perfect. But I did specify that he would have to tell them we can only do this once a year. It's very important.
It's only once a year.
It's very important. We don't go over that line.
What was that old soda? Surge soda.
So that-
We just
okay.
get them all hopped up on caffeine and sugar.
Here's a 12-pack of Surge.
Surge.
We got deadlines to meet.
Maybe they have to keep eating the Christmas cookies to keep their sugar levels up.
He's just got to set a baseline.
That's
though.
what he tells you. He goes, you gotta eat the cookies.
Yeah.
You have to. Like, you think it's for Santa
We
because
need
he's
the
jolly.
sugar
It's
rush.
not. You're gonna need the sugar. It's gonna be a long night, kids.
Slam 6 Surges, eat all the cookies, slam 6 more Surges in 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like-
What a time to be alive.
I mean, this is it. So they set out at nightfall and they begin their mission, all dressed as not passable Santa Clauses.
okay,
Right.
so a bunch of like tall, skinny Santas. Like
It's what you're seeing
This
if you're
is
on
Christmas
YouTube right
Purge.
now,
Yeah.
delivering your presents. You know. So we have a lot of options for what might happen in these houses.
okay.
I guess I'll give you. I have a couple obvious ones, and then we can.
Oh,
kinda-
you're talking like okay, what?
Well, now
are
they're
the
doing
hijinks
it.
That we're
They're
getting
going into
Okay.
people's houses. How
I
might
gotcha.
this go?
It's not all gonna go swimmingly. There might be one or two that they get away with and get out unnoticed, but there's gonna be some that someone's gonna wake up. They're gonna
Oh, yeah.
run into you.
So
Yeah.
I have the obvious one. Gets a gun pulled on him, where just some dude dressed as Santa
Yeah.
breaking into your house.
Oh yeah, exactly. I assume like, well, I didn't leave out any cookies, but here's a knuckle sandwich.
Right.
Well, I was thinking that he would blow a dog whistle and you would just hear, and like 8 pit bulls come charging in.
Yeah.
And they just restrain the homeowner who has to watch in horror as awesome gifts are being placed under his tree by a strange man dressed as Santa.
As he's given gifts,
Yeah.
not as they're taken away.
Oh God, no! It's everything I asked for.
And that's why you always be good.
I saw you when you were sleeping.
See you next year.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm picturing is maybe
Okay.
how one of those could go. But anything else?
Yeah, no, because can we have like the other side too? Because like I picture it being way more fun with just like the showing up and destroying people's gifts.
Yeah, it's got to be the naughty kid stays up, like you were talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
Stays up late
Yeah.
and catches them like just
Maybe they have,
wrecking
like,
his
a-
presents.
Maybe they have like a reversible mask where it's like Santa or the Grinch or something.
That'd be
You know
pretty
what I
good.
mean?
Yeah,
That'd
I like
be pretty
that. They
good.
kind
Where,
of turn it around.
yeah.
Yeah, all of a sudden they're the Grinch coming in and just like they tip over their tree and this, like, just like take a present and just like stomp it like right in front of the kid.
Yeah, I really like that. Just a pack of dogs ruining your Christmas, just shaking all
Yeah.
your presents in
That
front
is
of like
pretty good.
some bad kids. You know?
Yeah, like the kid just gets held there as the pack of dogs just tear up all the presents.
No, it wouldn't fit for this movie because he has the dogs. But has there ever been a movie where Santa gets attacked by dogs? Because that's hilarious to me. Like I don't know if anyone's ever done that.
I don't know of a pack of dogs,
Well,
but I'm
attacked
sure like
by dogs.
Yeah, nothing comes to mind at
It'd be
least.
very funny.
Yeah, well, depending.
Well, I like it, but it doesn't fit here.
If it's
But
tastefully done.
maybe next year.
Yeah.
If it's tastefully done. I already also had another one where I think it'd be pretty funny if a guy was putting gifts under a tree and then just like, or he's Santa's under there putting gifts under the tree and he just like clearly hears people having sex. And then he pulls a gift out of his sack and it's like clearly a wrapped dildo. And he just goes and like puts it on the nightstand and makes his way out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he just kind of
very
cracks
naughty.
the door, just like rolls it in.
Like I was saying that'd be pretty funny. If he's
Yeah, just
like,
they hear a little bit of jingle bells as like it rolls in.
yeah. Well, that'd be
Ew.
pretty good.
All right.
But I mean, is there any? I mean, obviously, you'd either think he was breaking in, or you'd have maybe a couple magical ones. Some kids that are like, "Are you really Santa?" And it's just some skinny guy like, "Sure am."
Yeah,
right,
hello.
Tiny Tim over there.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm starting to just think about Home Alone, and like I know that's not what we're going for at all, but it's like a little similar.
And in what way do you
The
mean?
sticky-
It just
bandits.
like exactly. I'm just kind of thinking of the scenarios like how are they coming in? Like obviously a kid wouldn't have the thing booby trapped, but there's a chance they can get pretty seriously injured.
Well,
doing
that's
some of
where
this.
he has a pack of dogs.
Yeah.
That's where the defense is.
Okay, so he just sicks it on him immediately.
Obviously, I needed something for reindeer. The teenagers or the elves.
Yeah.
Like that's the symbolism of it. But it's at the end of the day, the pit bulls would serve a purpose where we can shave. I mean, it's still going to be impossible. There's way
Right.
too many houses in a
Yeah,
night.
clearly.
But
they
they
got
can at least
100, I'd be
shave
proud.
some of it off by like maybe they literally are just running like an awesome watch into some guy.
Yeah.
And this is a house we can skip because a dog can do it real quick. But like, how is a dog gonna break into your house without you knowing?
Yeah, right.
There's got to
Exactly.
be a nemesis. There's got to be like a feud that's happened since childhood. Maybe one of those bullies that finds out what this guy's doing, and now he's like a detective and he's on the case and he's trying to stop him.
Maybe
Or
he faked
Figure
having
out the
kids.
next move.
Maybe he sees his bully while giving him his coal.
Or giving
You know
his
what I mean?
kid a present.
His kid
Like
gets a bunch of
his
gifts.
kid is good, but
Yeah.
the bully,
Yeah,
you
the
know,
dad's the.
he's still got
Yeah.
still got beef
Yeah.
with him.
I could see that being a pretty good questioning of everything you're doing. Like, puts all these trees down here in front of like the sweetest kid in the world, and then like some asshole around the corner like Bill.
You know he's gonna take all the credit for those presents too.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like,
Well,
yeah, I got you those.
and it brings the shame as well because now the bully's good kid gets the awesome Christmas, maybe catches Santa delivering the presents, has
Yeah.
the full experience. Like, I love Santa. Santa's awesome. He's the man. What did you get, Dad?
Yeah.
Coal. You know what I
there you
mean?
go.
And that's his final. That's what he wanted when he was a kid. He thought all those kids were going to come to school with the soot all over them. Well, who's got soot on their face now?
Yeah. Who's
This
wearing
guy.
it? Yeah.
In front of his kid.
Not just one piece of coal. It's got to be like a pile covering his entire car or something. So much coal.
Oh, like he
open
goes
the
all
windows.
out
Yeah.
on these guys.
Yeah. Open the windows and load up the whole inside of the car.
Right, here's a truckload of coal.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay,
it sounds
so
expensive.
that's
though.
what we do. Is he goes all out on the bullies.
They got crypto bro money.
Yeah. How expensive is coal these days? Like, it's got to be pretty up there.
Well, you got to think. I mean, one
Compared
bag of
to DVDs,
bag of Kingsford charcoal. If you're just gonna go with whatever the most accessible
Yeah.
is, like
Yeah.
that's a lot of houses.
Yeah, that is. Like, yeah.
You don't need to give them a lot of coal.
Yeah.
Just one little lump to just say
It's
like,
symbolic.
Yeah, Santa thinks you're a dick.
Oh yeah, no, we're talking about the ones like if he's going all out and just dumps a truckload.
Burn their house down.
Yeah, there you go.
Or he could have. Should he burn down the Toys for Tots?
Oh God.
Oh no.
I'll be honest. I just kind of wanted that soundbite.
It's like maybe not this year at least.
Yeah. We'll let him go.
Yeah, we'll let it slide this time.
Okay. All right. So that's pretty much, I guess. I can't really think of much more that could happen on these encounters that would be entertaining. I figured this would be a comedy movie.
Yeah, there'd be plenty
You
of
know?
gags. Like it just depends on what way you want to go. Like
I feel like this would be a comedy movie that kind of rode the line of like having some Christmas charm.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it would make the references. There'd be like moments like when he's sitting there having the eggnog, listening through the vent at the Awesome Christmas Morning. Like I feel like that's a pretty cool
Yeah.
scene in a weird way. Of
Yeah.
like it's a weird way to experience Christmas, but we got there to explain why this is awesome for this guy.
right.
You know?
And
Yeah.
when you're talking about the like the crime syndicate that they develop to obtain all the presents, I'm picturing the movie Jingle All the Way, where Arnold Schwarzenegger's trying to find the doll, and
Yeah.
the mall Santa's like, hey, kind of pulls
That's a
him
good
aside
movie.
and says, hey, I've got this underground operation, basically, and all the Santas and
The
elves
big
are working
show.
there.
Remember, you're my number one customer.
They have a big like
It's
Santa
turbo time.
Santa convention every year.
Yeah.
And it's great because there's a bunch of videos online. They all get drunk, and there's a bunch of videos of like a dozen Santas fist fighting each other, like in the street in New York. It's very funny.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, like that's just what it comes down to, I guess, at the end of the night. But yeah, so they go through, they do the Christmas. I'm thinking they finish up just in time for sunrise. They're obviously exhausted, and they return to the warehouse to open their own gifts. And they obviously all got everything they wanted.
Clearly.
You know, I mean, they're
Yeah.
Santa.
Yeah, of course.
Any thoughts? I mean, obviously, even 2,000 residents in a town, you can't pull this off.
No.
Like, I mean, it's...
Yeah, they'd get to like 83 and be like, holy crap, like this is way harder and more time consuming
Right,
than
just
we thought.
sweating.
I think, like, an apartment
Out of
complex would be your first Christmas.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
really would be. Like, yeah, your
know?
one that'd be your trial run. The next one, be like, I'm gonna hit the next building too. Like, and you'd kind of
Yeah.
it would just go from
Try
there.
to get some more staff.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I got to do a lot of hiring for the holidays.
Yeah, a lot of NDAs that need to be signed.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like that. Like, there'd just be a lot of it would just be gags, like whatever you want to throw in there.
Yeah.
I do see them getting hurt sometimes.
Yeah,
though.
kind of slapsticky, kind of hijinks that they'd get into.
I mean, we could even go all out. One of these guys could just be killed.
I mean, yeah,
You know what I
it's
mean?
on
Like,
the
I mean,
table.
This is a very dangerous thing you're setting out to do. You
Do
know?
a B&E on Christmas.
We're gonna break into everybody's house tonight.
Yeah, the whole town. Yeah, exactly. 2,500 homes. We're coming.
Every one of them. So yeah, you have pretty low odds of enjoying your own Christmas in the morning.
Yeah, true.
We'll say.
Yeah, because
So-
even if it's like you got a bunch of presents, like where the hell did these presents come from? Like,
Well, you're exactly. I mean, plus you're telling me that in the fifth house that the cops aren't just gonna roll up.
Yeah,
and be like, what are
exactly.
you doing, sir?
yeah,
You know. But anyways, it worked out.
yeah.
They did it.
Okay.
Later, they're at home and or they're at the warehouse, I guess. And on the news, it appears that many citizens were giving amazing gifts without explanation, while others were robbed of their gifts and only received coal. The nice people are thrilled and they call it a Christmas miracle. The naughty ones are obviously filled with guilt and are very upset. The news anchor is just like, "What'd you guys do?" Like they're just like, "What? Why do you think it happened to you?"
I do see them like with the microphone. They're just kind of like listening. Like, yeah, like they stole my kid's PS5 and blah blah blah. And like,
Oh
then it
yeah,
comes
that
like,
would be
well, what did you
breaking
do?
news the next morning.
Yeah,
for
And then
sure.
just put the mic right back to him.
Were you naughty?
Well, I don't think so, but we bought it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We
But
purchased this.
Why did Santa give you coal then?
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm picturing happening on the news, right?
Yeah.
So when they see that the uplifting miracle of the nice people and the shame of the naughty people, They pop a bottle of champagne, spray it everywhere, and celebrate. They did it.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's like winning the Super Bowl, I imagine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we did it. Now we get to sit back on Christmas with our awesome gifts and watch on the news about how the nice people got rewarded, and everybody knows that you're a dick because Santa said so.
Exactly.
You know,
we have publicly shamed all of these people, and I couldn't feel better about it.
Yeah. So, they're celebrating, and then the man catches one of the boys still monitoring Amazon Alexas for naughty behavior, and he says, "Hey, take a break." And the boy says, "Well, what if we miss something important for next year?" And he says, "We need a break. There needs to be a Christmas purge until New Year's. That'll give us 7 days. Once your presents are under the tree, you're free to be as naughty as you like until midnight on New Year's."
It's a gray area.
Yeah, that way the resolutions and the countdown will really mean something, and everyone agrees.
Okay, so we can all just suck for like a week.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Literally a naughty purge.
I was being good all year. We expect for that last week.
Yeah, well,
just
they
go
make the
nuts.
rules now.
Yeah, get it all out of your system. We're not listening. It's like we're not going to watch you while you're sleeping or awake.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't think they'd go public and tell anybody that, but they know the truth of it, that they were like, whatever. And that's where I guess if you did give them meth earlier, he'd be like, well, maybe we should do some more meth because it's a Christmas purge.
All right, maybe like
This
for
is
1
Breaking
week.
Bad.
Yeah.
1 week out of the year. You can have a little.
Okay, you can only do it one time a year, but for a week.
And it's got to be consecutively.
Yeah. And you sober up, you're done, bud.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
No sleeping.
But yeah, I really like the idea of a Christmas purge, and I'm kind of surprised that I'd never... Because that's what it would be. You get your presents, you go, awesome. Christmas, it happened, I was good. And then you just get to do whatever you want, and then literally that countdown at midnight is like, the resolutions mean something.
Yeah.
You got to get your act together. Time to get back to it, and it leaves it's a little rumspringa for...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'd probably just be listening to Bon Jovi and playing Final Fantasy 9 for like a week. So I'd be the lame one on that one.
You get naughty to Bon Jovi.
Yeah, well, plenty of people have, I'm sure.
I'm sure they have.
The 80s did happen.
And we're here.
This episode of We Won't
We
Finish
are
This
here.
podcast is sponsored by Pizza Lobo. Best slice shop in Chicago. Fight me. Order at pizzalobo.com, caviar, or DoorDash.
I'm thinking at this point, the man leaves the warehouse. He returns to his apartment, and there are police in the hallway knocking on the teenage boy's door. They're still at the warehouse.
Okay.
Right? They spot the man, and they ask to speak with him. He gets very paranoid, but they assure him that they're not interested in arresting him for anything.
Okay.
Right?
I don't know why I was picturing they were going to say they were CPS, but it was like the Claus Protective Services. Like I don't know why, and I have nowhere to go with that, but it just popped into my head.
Claus police specialist or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Gower says he's willing to fight for a piece of pizza.
Yep.
That's how good that Pizza Lobo is.
Yeah, pizzalobo.com.
Yep.
So they get into his apartment, and the officer in charge, 2 officers, but I'm thinking one's clearly in charge. The head officer gives a long speech about how they know what he did. Him and the boys are on camera all over town breaking into places. The man starts to deny it, and they quickly shut it down. Look, this is basically a closed case. You're facing many lifetimes worth of charges. However, we've had dozens of cold cases solved Christmas morning because of the line of people at the police station confessing and offering information on crimes.
Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, like cold cases though, like
Anything.
What have these people done?
You get cold, and you're just like, man, I do know about that murder.
Repent.
I
You know what I
did
mean?
kill that guy in '94. I should probably go tell the police.
Or maybe you just have some info. You know about somebody who killed somebody, and maybe you're like, maybe that's why I got the cold. So even career criminals who would buy themselves, who could buy themselves whatever they wanted, were still devastated to find out that Santa thought they were dicks. The world needs a Santa. This is the cop talking to him, right?
Pretty good.
Because I'm thinking you could be like the most balling criminal. You've got everything you want. And Christmas morning, you get up and you just see like, wow, look how well wrapped this one is from Santa. And you open it and it's coal, shattered.
Yeah,
Pretty
much. Yeah, that's devastating.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, oh wow, what did I do?
Yeah, because they're not picturing, like I said, this guy in his apartment, he pulled
It's
it off.
such a cut and dry. You're either getting your presents or you're getting coal, and there's no middle ground.
You were a piece of shit this year. Here's your coal.
Yep.
And that would just be like,
That's the
damn.
deciding factor.
I got to figure this out.
I got to pull my shit together this year.
I should probably go confess to that murder.
That'll get me a Christmas present next year for sure.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's necessarily about the presents. You can buy whatever you want if you're a successful criminal.
Yeah.
but it's that coal. You just don't. You want Santa's approval.
Yeah,
at this
it's a
point,
message.
you know?
Yeah, no, we get it.
So the cops give him this big speech where they're essentially on his side, right? And the man is stunned. It always made sense to him, but he never could have imagined that the law would agree. The officers head out of his apartment, but the one says, "Oh, by the way, thanks for the Nickelodeon moon shoes." How'd you know?
I haven't thought about those like in so long.
How effective were those shoes? Like,
I had some. They were awful.
were you adding
I can imagine.
even a foot to your jump height, or what was it?
No, you had less jump height because they were heavy.
They're spongy.
And you were likely to roll your ankle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. Like I never
dangerous.
had
It's a
them.
pogo stick for each foot.
But the officer in charge really wanted him, and he got him. And that's why he's on his side.
Is he wearing them on duty?
He stands up.
He's like towering over.
Yes.
He stands up and walks out of the apartment. He's 10 feet. He's a foot taller than everybody.
Hits his head on the door on the way out. Knocks his hat off.
Rolls an ankle.
Tumbles down the stairs. Severely injures himself. Oh man, that'd be good. So I'm thinking, he's like, thanks for the moon shoes. How'd you know? And the guy's like, oh yeah, no problem. And then the cop starts to sit on his knee. And he's like, GAC next year would be awesome.
I had GAC.
I had GAC.
I had GAC.
And the guy's just like, that's not how it works. And the cop gets up quickly, like, understood.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it weird.
Yeah. But because now they're in the presence of Santa. You can't arrest Santa. You
No,
know?
of course not.
So the cops aren't going to take him in. However, he's got to get out of town. The Santa story is getting worldwide news coverage and putting a spotlight on their tiny town. The cop says, maybe you could do it in a different city next year. And they leave. And then I was thinking the other cop, maybe on his way, I was going to be like, thanks for the dildo.
Like, yeah, I really don't mention it. See you later.
So think about it. If they were to do it in another city next year, it'll create the perfect situation to curb naughty behavior worldwide.
It would.
Gotham City.
Yeah, it would implement fear, and I like that.
Yeah, because
in Christmas.
What if it's your... Yeah,
Christmas is about fear.
Yeah, it really is. And shame.
Yeah, it really is.
Fear and shame.
Fear and shame, and you don't want to be that public. Have that done to you publicly.
So that's where I think the town jumping, it's where it keeps it more realistic, which it's still unrealistic.
Right.
But it's more realistic. It's at least like maybe for a movie you could swallow it, right?
Yeah.
The vigilante Santa.
And they might come to your town. You know what I mean? Like you just don't know.
Yeah.
Whereas all of a sudden every year, Christmas morning, it's like Portland.
Yep.
It was New York this year. You know what I mean? Like it hits out of nowhere. It was Boise, Idaho.
Yep.
Yeah,
you'd hear news stories kind of leading up from all around the country. Like police are on high alert tonight for the potential series of B&Es.
Yeah. Oh man, I totally forgot to put it in my notes too. I was thinking, or unless I skipped over reading it. When I was getting their montage of how they were getting it done, you know how they have the places you can like write letters to Santa and stuff? I was thinking that they just start one locally.
I was going to say they'd take a crowbar to one. Just like rob.
That's probably the way they would do it in this movie. But I know I had a funny story though. So there's a voicemail thing now, and my wife had the number, and we were at Thanksgiving, and my son, who's 5, and my niece is 5, we're both there, and my wife was like, oh, let's call Santa, and you can leave him a voicemail and tell him what you guys want for Christmas. So they do it, and my son goes, and he's like, hey, the voicemail's like, ho, 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 have you been good this year, blah, blah, all right, tell me what you want. My son tells him a few gifts or whatever, and then now it's my niece's turn, and the first thing she said was to tell him that my son was actually bad. And we all looked at her like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So
That's awesome.
I forgot to write it in here, but it would be funny if they got a voicemail like that on the system they set up and decided to make the little girl naughty for it. Like where they're like, why would she do that to her cousin?
I mean, would they do their due diligence though? Like maybe this little kid was a piece of shit.
It's a tip.
Yeah, it is. It's a hotline tip.
It's a hot tip.
We gotta check this kid
But
out.
no, if they look into it and he's actually good, they're like, yeah, we don't like that you did that.
Yeah. She automatically gets on the naughty list by a false report.
the
throwing people
Scruff
under the bus.
McGruff hotline.
Yeah. But yeah, so it'd be the perfect situation. It would cause everybody globally to be good everywhere all year for the chance of it might happen in their town.
Yeah.
Right? And then I just have one last note for my story that just says, Mom's still in jail.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her too.
Yeah.
We all did.
I'm thinking that they've moved on.
Yeah, she's just, that's where she is now, and
Stole a PS5. Sounds like a life sentence.
yeah, gets a turkey sandwich once a year.
Yeah.
Like, that's her life now.
So that is the end of my story notes. Do you guys have any thoughts?
I really like it. Now I feel like we need to cast some of these people. Maybe we'll take a minute to do that.
What do you got?
Low hanging fruit for the Santa is Billy Bob Thornton because he was in Bad Santa. So I don't want to do that. It's got to be something different. So not
I'm
that
picturing
type.
it'd have to be younger.
Yeah.
Too. So it would be like almost like an Edward Furlong when he was 30.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, like I'm picturing that type.
Maybe it's Macaulay Culkin.
Like it has a criminal look to him.
Okay.
You know.
Maybe if it's Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin would be good.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be pretty
Yeah.
funny.
Macaulay Culkin is like, what's the guy's name again? It's like the Santa that robs everyone. Did we name him?
The Grinch?
Robin Claus.
Oh, Robin Claus. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I had Randy Claus
Randy
at the
Claus.
beginning.
Yeah, it's pretty
I was
good,
also
too.
thinking Christmas Purge might be a nice
Yeah, it's not bad.
something for.
We didn't give it enough focus, but like I do like that.
Yeah, there's not really. You can't make a movie around people just being naughty.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's plenty of those.
There's a whole
but-
industry around it, I guess. But it's but yeah, I mean, not for what we're doing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're gonna leave that alone.
Yeah,
But no, like it's like, I like it. It's I haven't seen anything like it, so like I really would like enjoy watching something like that. It's like I think of next Friday as kind of being like, you know, in the realm, because that's like got the Christmassy like hijinksy, you know, type of stuff, but not the same.
I think the circumstance for which he becomes Santa is like kind of too plain, where you could have a more exaggerated reason why he would end up doing that, other than he just, you know, got disappointed one year.
He didn't get that weenie whistle, and that was it. It's like,
he caught like a mall Santa being naughty and was just like, this doesn't add up at all.
ooh, man, there could be some kind of criminal case. He's like a witness too. That's like against the mall Santa.
He just saw the big brawl of Santas at the convention, drunkenly fighting in the streets, and he was just like, this can't be real, but we need one.
Right.
No, I think that it's really just, I don't know, the news was devastating to him, and he carried it, and it changed his outlook on morals. And then as he got older, he realized, like, well, I still have morals, but these other criminals don't. And like,
some of these kids still need to pay.
we need to rub their nose in it every Christmas.
We really do.
Yeah.
We got to embarrass some people.
I do think we could have explored something with the bullies grown up more. I'm glad that came up, because I kind of forgot about it when I was writing it. But I did think about it, how, because originally when I was writing this, I was thinking it would go into the other cities and bigger, but then I kind of realized, I was like, I have enough here for a movie. We'll just do the first one and then present the idea.
It needs to be a smaller town. There needs to be more of that, you know, people know each other. And so, yeah, he would run into his high school bullies or, you know, grade school bullies.
The bad kids that got like the new Air Force Ones and the popped collars, and that's what he had to see on, you know, whenever they went back to school. It's been too long.
Maybe they're like still doing well for themselves, but got their money through ill-gotten means or something. They're still on the naughty list, basically.
The kids still suck.
Well, at the end of the day, Santa still thinks they're dicks.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Santa thinks you're a dick. Christmas is about fear and shame. This is established.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, like I said, that's all I have for my story notes, but I do have a plea to Jeff Bezos to become Santa Claus.
Yeah, please. Like, come on. Like, anything delivered on, like, you know, December 26th from Amazon should just be free.
Well, I just wrote, I have a whole thing here. Dear Mr. Bezos.
Oh, wow.
The world needs a Santa. If anyone can do it, it's you. You have the infrastructure for spying on people and for delivering goods overnight, not to mention a pile of cash. You probably know when we're sleeping. You know when we're awake, bad or good. Just be Santa, for goodness sake.
For goodness sake.
Yeah. Maybe only do it once a year, like in this story. Maybe or in one city a year. Maybe Prime members who are nice would receive a refund on their Christmas shopping, while the naughty ones' orders would never arrive at all, except for Cole. And you could email the picture of Cole to cut costs. It would carry the same sting. Obviously won't be able to use your own moral compass when making these lists, or every single person would get gifts but you. It wouldn't have the same effect on the public. Please ignore your own sense of right and wrong. We don't want elves shitting in bags, thanks.
Yeah. And I feel like he has a pretty clean slate. He's bald and has no facial hair, so you could just put, the Santa hat.
He's like,
and
what
beard
was
right on
that? Woolly something with the magnets?
him. Right.
The woolly
Yeah.
face that you'd magnet the beard over to him?
Yeah, you could
Woolly
easily
Willy.
do that on Jeff Bezos.
Woolly Willy.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Why couldn't I think of
Yeah,
it?
Woolly Bezos.
Woolly Bezos.
That's
yeah.
going to be sold next year.
But yeah, so obviously it's an impossible task.
If anyone could do it, Amazon could do it.
Yeah, and I feel these guys got through like 13 houses before they would get like arrested.
Well, yeah, like I said, you come out of the third house and there'd be cops.
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
road,
I think that would be the interesting dynamic too, though, is like one of the childhood bullies becomes like a detective and catches on, and they're trying to like preemptively expect where they're going to be next.
Yeah, put the other Santa
Catch him in the
clink.
act.
I was also kind of thinking how if it really did become like a worldwide thing, that people could literally look at the crime rates to bet on the coal stocks.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? Like
that.
they'd be like, "There's a lot of crime this year. We've had a crime wave. I'm buying calls on coal stocks."
Yeah, they're going to start
because
predicting where this is going to go. The crime rates really shot up out this town outside of Seattle.
Santa's
I
going to
don't
be
know.
sourcing a lot of coal this year.
He gets like a sponsorship from Binford Charcoal.
He's got a Kingsford
Kingsford, that's what it was.
logo on his box truck.
Yeah, Binford. I was going to say, isn't that like Home Improvement?
Yeah,
Probably.
Who Tim Allen was in the Santa Claus.
That's true.
So
It's come full circle.
This is like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon kind of thing, except
So-
less.
The beard a little itchy.
Oh, this is killing me. It's so bad.
It looks rough.
I've been drinking beer through it. I've been vaping through it. Why don't you check us out on social media? We're on most platforms. Thank you for anybody who's engaged with us, commented, subscribed, everything. Make sure you have your notifications turned on if you want to catch the next live stream and be notified. We give you a little warning. And I think we probably did it. Any final thoughts?
I really like the idea. Jingle bells all the way here. Like,
All right.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yep. Happy holidays.
I'm putting those moon shoes on my list this year.
Oh, we
They're-
all have them on there.
We'll get an ankle splint as well. Good night.